Hello everybody, what is going on and welcome back to a brand new video. Yesterday I brought you the top 5 best retiring players of this year. Today I'll be bringing you the top 10 best AFL players in 2018. I quickly want to get this out of the way right from the go. This is only my personal opinion, and this also is in no specific order. There is no way to quite order these players on how well they've played, because it's been an insane year with some great players in footy, and yeah, I didn't want to be way too controversial. I think a lot of people wouldn't be happy, but these are who I've seen have played the best in only 2018. This doesn't count as any other years, or it doesn't define how great a player is. This is just in 2018. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me know your top 10 players. You can do it in order or not in the comment section down below, and let's get right into it with our honourable mention. So for our honourable mention, we have Elliot Yeo. Yeo is having a fantastic year for the West Coast Eagles, matching, if not exceeding, last year's efforts where he was an All-Australian. He has averaged 24 disposals per game this year, as well as 6.7 tackles and 106 fantasy points, making him an elite player off of halfback and in the middle of the ground. So starting off our official list, not at number 10 since we're not ranking these, we have Brody Grundy. The resurgence of the ruckman has been extreme this season, and while there is another ruckman to come on this list, let's get started with Brody Grundy. Grundy basically acts as an extra midfielder for the Pies, where he attracts a lot of the ball. He averages over 20 touches per game, as well as 38.5 hitouts and 120 fantasy points. This year, he earned his first major award, being the Herald Sun Player of the Year. Being only 24 years of age, Grundy has a lot of good footy ahead of him. Now we have Big Maxi Gawn, another fantastic ruckman, Max Gawn, who attracts less of the ball than Grundy, but makes up for that by being a great mark and tap ruckman, racking up an average of 47 hitouts per game. He has only played 92 games so far in his career, and is 26 years old. He added on AFL 360 this Monday that despite his age, his lack of football to this point could help him out later in his career, comparing himself to Aaron Sandilands. He was an All-Australian in 2016 and won the AFL Coaches Association Champion Player of the Year award this season. Patrick Cripps. Carlton supporters one player they can look forward to seeing play every single week. At 23 years of age, he has had an incredible season for Carlton, averaging nearly 30 disposals a game, as well as 6 tackles and 110 fantasy points. With the Best and Fairest award under his belt already, you would expect him to win many more for the Blues and help them out going into the future. Tom Mitchell. There is one word to describe this young man: disposals. He just gets so much of the ball. In one game this year, round 1 against Collingwood, he had 54 touches. He averaged 35 possessions a game, as well as being a fantasy god, averaging 130 points, and having 195 fantasy points against GWS this year. He was an All-Australian and Best and Fairest for the Hawks last season, which you would expect him to back up on this season. Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly is yet another young midfielder on this list, and he won't be the last. I went to see the Carlton vs GWS game in round 20, and I can say it was one of the best individual performances I have ever seen from a player. While he had an interrupted year of footy due to injury, he still managed to average 28 touches and 110 fantasy points. He's an All-Australian from last season, and he also won GWS's Best and Fairest in 2017. Clayton Oliver. Would you believe that Clayton Oliver is only 21 years old? He's a fantastic young midfielder who tackles, does great clearance work and demands the ball, averaging 30 touches this season. He had a big year for awards last season, winning the Melbourne Best and Fairest as well as the Best Young Player award voted by the AFL Coaches Association. And everyone knows this man, Dustin Martin. While Dustin Martin couldn't back up his legendary season from last year, unlike most think, he still had a wildly above average year. He already has so many accolades to his name, and he's still 27 years old, meaning he's most likely in the prime of his career. He'll become a 3-time All-Australian this year, and is a slight chance of back-to-back Brownlow medals. He has kicked 30 goals for the season, meaning he averages over 1 a game, and still averages over 25 touches per game. Yet another good year for Dusty. Patrick Dangerfield. The oldest player on this list, Danger didn't have such a prominent year as the last couple, but he's still definitely one of the best players in football. A soon-to-be 6-time All-Australian and a 3-time best and fairest, Danger averaged 28 touches and over a goal per game this season, which overall is a good season for any other player. But since Danger set such a high level, everyone needs judging him a little bit more harsh than we probably should. Nat Fyfe. Nat Fyfe is yet another player who had his year cut short due to injury. Nat Fyfe would definitely be in Brownlow contention if luck had gone his way. He had a season-high 43 touches against the Western Bulldogs, and is yet again another player to average 28 touches per game. Current Fremantle captain will see how far he can take this pretty average side into the future with Ross Lyon. And finally, Jackson McRae. Jack McRae had an extraordinary year for the Dogs, being fantastic through the midfield in all facets, as he not only gathered the ball, but took marks and tackled hard. He took a season-high 14 marks against Richmond in round 23 and had 13 tackles against Adelaide. Not to mention, he almost had 50 disposals in round 8 this year against the Brisbane Lions. So there we have it. In my opinion, the top 10 players in no specific order for the 2018 season. Remember, this does not determine how great I think an overall player is. For example, Buddy Franklin didn't make it onto this list. I still think he is up there with the best players to currently be playing this game. Even though he also had a spectacular season, I couldn't put him on there. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Let me know if you did, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.